So you want to do an open concept kitchen. And just so you know, open concept is a floor plan, not a design. So it leads me to the first step. The first of the 5 steps when perceiving to do a kitchen model with the open concept. As for example, this kitchen behind me originally was enclosed with a wall dividing the living room with the kitchen. We went ahead and removed it. How do we remove it and what beam to install leads you before you do anything is designs. This what I have in my hand are architectural blueprints. These same blueprints are able to give you a floor plan layout on how your kitchen's gonna look. Then it leads you to ask, I'm able to get these floor plans laid out and I know what walls to knock down and what to be able to install. Now leads us to the second step. That second step is now selecting quantities and as well material finishes, because it leads us to the second phase, which is write up the scope of work of how much it is to be able to get this done with the scope of work to be called for. Then from there, once you get the first number of the budget, it leads to the second, which is quantity of how much you're gonna be spending on the material finishes, along with what materials you're gonna be installing, because depending on the material, it's gonna change the time duration of the project being completed. So you cover plans and budget, so you're ready for a smooth project. But wait, before you do that, how that process looks for demolition is understanding what we need to close, what needs to be moved to be able to be promised a smooth project, because the time frame of a project being completed could always change. And especially when you are living in the same area the work is gonna be done, it gets messy pretty fast. So you want to be able to go through a thorough scheduling of how the process is gonna go with every step. Obviously, certain dates are gonna be pushed back depending on materials or work to be done, along with if there's gonna be inspections for your project. To have some plans of how the project goes, 2, understand the budget, and 3, it understands the scheduling of every step of the process. So as it goes on, we start doing demolition. It leads us to the 4th step. That 4th step is gonna be able to do the duration of this project. Us getting the cabinets done, countertops installed, and making sure it's all smooth. Throughout that process, there are gonna be certain things that are gonna be needed correcting, but luckily with us, we'll be able to cover certain phases of that project where once we start completing it and those finishing details, we are to walk around it and be able to understand what adjustments we need to make on that scheduling so we can be able to accommodate for it. So now we're in this final phases, as you see right now. We're about to enclose these walls, put a drywall finish in the cabinets. Once the project's all complete, that's when you'll be able to do your final walk-in inspection. And that's gonna be you walking with the general contractor, take certain notes and knowing, hey, can you fix this? Can you fix that? Those are key points that you want to be able to identify at the end of the project. So if there's any, like, tiles that need to be replaced, grouts that need to be filled, or certain adjustments to your appliances, or maybe paint touch-ups, at the end of the project is when you are to be able to identify that and make those corrections. Because as we complete those process of this project, it is our final presentations to you on how this kitchen is gonna be. And it is to meet your expectations of what is to be presented.